The conflict between Israel and Iran continues, with Trump demanding Iran's unconditional surrender, while Khamenei vows never to yield. Honestly, Iran's military's poor performance is entirely within my expectations. Iran's weaponry is severely outdated, and Chinese defense firms are eager to showcase their products there, repeatedly trying to prove their weapons' combat capabilities through exercises. In modern society, there are many ways to test weapon performance, with confrontational exercises being the best. Iran has held multiple exercises with China and Russia, but they were largely performative. In contrast, exercises conducted by countries like Pakistan and Egypt have a strong practical focus. Pakistan's Air Force, through repeated exercises, verified the J-10's combat effectiveness before deciding to equip it. Otherwise, with high-end F-16S and low-end JF-17S, adding J-10S would have been redundant. However, India-Pakistan air combat results show that the J-10 has unique strengths, and Chinese weapons, after integrating data links, completely outperform European and Russian fighters. Yet, Khamenei and his inner circle harbor illusions about the West, hoping for mediation through Europe or Russia to gain U.S. leniency, making him reluctant to fully align with China. Iranians generally believe Russian weapons outperform Chinese ones, so they prefer trading large numbers of drones for Su-35S rather than buying China's J-10S. Israel's overwhelming victory in this conflict with Iran has left Iran on the verge of acquiring nuclear weapons and a protective shield, stumbling at the critical moment. Although underground nuclear facilities remain intact, many scientists have been eliminated, and surface nuclear facilities are nearly destroyed. Iran faces immense challenges in achieving nuclear weapons or even developing civilian nuclear energy in the short term, allowing Israel to once again neutralize a major security threat. Netanyahu's domestic support has skyrocketed, and even Germany has openly backed Israel, calling for Khamenei's resignation. Thus, Israel and Netanyahu are the biggest winners. Iran's dismal performance has severely undermined Khamenei and his theocratic regime's credibility, turning their decades-long rhetoric of wiping out Israel, dating back to Khomeini's era, into a global laughingstock. Many Iranians have lost trust in him, demanding his resignation or even regime reform. While a regime change seems unlikely in the short term, Khamenei and his allies are undoubtedly the biggest losers. The U.S., as Israel's primary backer and financier, has reaped substantial rewards. Trump, without deploying a single soldier and relying solely on rhetoric, achieved several key objectives. First, the Middle East crisis has driven up oil prices, putting pressure on China, which Trump is pleased to see, given the U.S.'s status as an energy powerhouse. Second, with significant U.S. debt maturing in June, heightened Middle East tensions have spurred dollar repatriation and safe haven capital flows into the U.S., easing financial pressures. Third, Trump can justify sending weapons to Israel, reducing support for Ukraine and pressuring Zelensky while indirectly easing pressure on his friend Putin. The U.S. is a major winner, potentially gaining as much as Israel. For Russia, Iran's setback leaves Moscow unable to assist, diminishing its influence in Iran and allowing China to gain ground, a tangible loss. However, Russia benefits more overall. Trump's diversion of Ukraine-bound weapons to Israel has significantly reduced Russia's battlefield pressure. Zelensky's confidence has taken a hit, weakening his negotiating position. As a major energy exporter, Russia also welcomes rising oil prices. If Iran's political situation destabilizes, Russia, as a key energy supplier to China, gains more leverage in negotiations. Overall, Russia comes out ahead. For China, while Iran cooperates to some extent, Khamenei has been reluctant to fully align, attempting to balance relations with the West, Russia, India, and China while bargaining with Beijing. China opted to strengthen ties with Pakistan, leaving Iran to make its own choices. Unexpectedly, Iran handed port management to India and formed a strategic partnership with it, stunning China. Globally, countries are decoupling from India, which lacks true allies due to its extreme self-interest, lack of credibility, and readiness to betray partners. Now, with Khamenei and his allies battered by Israel, Russia unable to help, and India unwilling to even condemn Israel, Pakistan has taken a firm stand in support of Iran. If Iran survives this crisis, it will likely deepen ties with China. If Iran treats China sincerely and abandons duplicity, China can help rebuild its military, enabling Iran to become a true military power. By ditching India and working with Pakistan to counter Baloch separatists, Iran could secure firm support from both nations. The next time Israeli jets fly over Iran, they may face Chinese fighters and missiles. Let's see who the paper tiger is. The US and Israel have long fought opponents with equipment 2 or 3 generations behind. Those days are over. If Iran offers better terms, China wouldn't mind Pakistan using J-35s to defend Iran, testing the F-35's hyped capabilities in combat. While oil price fluctuations may slightly impact China's economy, Beijing is generally content with the current situation. Pakistan, needless to say, has seized this opportunity to ruin Iran-India relations and choke off Baloch separatist survival space. Pakistan's prestige among Islamic nations will continue to rise. As a nuclear-armed Islamic state, Pakistan has secured fifth-generation fighters and demonstrated excellence in air combat with India, expanding its strategic space unprecedentedly. Pakistan has gained tangible benefits. India, once again betraying an ally at a critical moment, has obliterated its international reputation. No country will trust India as a friend henceforth. Its poor battlefield performance and disregard for international credibility have strained relations with all neighbors and eroded trust from major international organizations. The next time India clashes with a neighbor, the outcome will be worse. The West hesitates to sell India advanced weapons, fearing embarrassment in combat, while China will arm India's adversaries with cutting-edge equipment, keeping India under pressure. Under Modi's leadership, India is becoming a pariah state. Regardless of Iran's regime fate, Iranians won't forget India's venomous betrayal. Finally, my prediction: at 86, Khamenei's health may not withstand such intense pressure, but Iran's regime shows no immediate signs of change. Israel's strikes have deeply wounded Iranian national pride, and this resentment will persist even if the regime changes. Unless the US and Israel directly occupy Iran, a new regime is unlikely to be pro-Western. Iran must reflect on why its military falls so short of expectations, openly acknowledge its backwardness, and improve rapidly. Never forget, how can a nation of 90 million be defeated by Israel? As a Chinese saying goes, a gentleman takes revenge after 10 years. To erase this humiliation, Iran must strengthen itself. Expecting mercy from adversaries only invites more shame. Chinese defense firms' hotlines are staffed, waiting for your call.